Action! And welcome back to the Barstool Baseball Preview Show. This is the NL Central edition for the 2023 season. I am joined by two of our most in-house NL Central experts, White Sox Dave and Nick Tarani. Before we get to our guests, I do have another word. Thank you again, Rob Manfred, for empowering me in endorsing this product. And personally sponsoring it and making sure that we did the preview show. Rob, we've been in close contact about this. And so I hope you're enjoying the show, Rob. This is the NL Central preview, and I want to make you proud, Dad. Guys, welcome
Thanks
to the show.
for having me, Carl. What's up, Dave?
Nick, how we doing?
Looking
Flow's
good.
Looking luscious.
Thank you, bro. I wish I could say the same.
Yeah, you can't. You can't.
No. You're looking good. You're looking like you're about to have a rap battle on 8 Mile.
Yep, that's actually what I have to leave for in a minute. I gotta hit the what is it? What's the
dude? I haven't seen it in so long, but I could see you being pretty good. You know how to cut deep.
It's true.
Yeah,
I'm ruthless.
I know.
That's baseball.
Well, we're gonna ask Dave to cut pretty deep here in this preview because it's the NL Central, and Dave does not like the Chicago Cubs very much.
Not really.
So to our NL Central fans, and they see White Sox Dave's face, I'll be honest with you guys, I just don't know anybody else at the company that I can talk baseball with in the NL Central. So I trust these guys. Like we're gonna put on a good little preview for you.
You came to the right place.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's get into it, guys. We've got 9 topics. The way we do this, I kick it off. It goes over to Tarani. White Sox Dave's our closer. You guys know the rhythm and the balance by now. It's NL Central time. Opening day is around the corner. Let's get into it. Division winner. I just don't see a way where the Cardinals lose this division. They have 2 of the best players. It's the Cardinals. They never lose. I hate giving the Cardinals credit, but they're a wagon and they're a wheelhouse, and you have to respect them.
Yeah, I have Cardinals too. Drives me fucking crazy. Being a Pirates fan growing up, it's always sucked to hate the NL Central because I think they have the best collection of hats. St. Louis Cardinals hat, the old Milwaukee Brewers hat, the Reds hat, the Cubs hat even is pretty solid. So that's always sucked. I had to I couldn't really foray into any of those guys. But it's going to be St. Louis, and it drives me fucking insane, calling themselves the best fans in baseball. They think they're smarter than everybody else. But yeah, they're going to win.
It is kind of funny because I really want to like the Cardinals just because of my Cubs hatred, but that you brought up the best fans in baseball, and it is one of the sneaky, more insufferable fan bases in all of American sports. It's very bad. You can't say a single bad word about them without just them like attacking you like a bunch of little gnats. But for the division winner, I got the Brewers. They have like a bunch of like pretty good players in their lineup. And then you got 2 fucking studs in Brandon Woodruff and Corbin Burns at the top of that rotation. Pitching or the relief pitching is very good. I think we're going to see a rebound out of Christian Yelich. I think we're going to see a rebound. Obviously, he was MVP. He won the MVP, didn't he? He beat out Bellinger. Who won it? Yeah, he beat out Bellinger for that MVP in 2019 or whatever. But he hasn't been the same. He's been kind of a shell of himself since. I think that we are going to see that rebound, that same sweet left-handed swing from that tall, lanky kid. And I think the Brewers do it. I don't like the Cardinals this year because I think age is just not I don't know. There's something about the Cardinals that just gives me a little stinky vibe right now. And I think the Brewers are finally going to edge them out.
All right, so you have the Brewers. All right, again, Dave, 40 pitch first inning. I need you working quick. I need the efficient. I need first pitch outs here.
He's got a lot to get off his chest, man.
Yeah.
We start the show and he goes, "Hey, just I have a hard out at 10, which is in 11 minutes.
We're good. I'll be okay."
And you just went into like but Dave, this is why. This is what you do. And you're comfortable. You're in your zone. You're in your flow. So let's keep it flowing. Dead last, Nick. I hate to do it to you. I hate to do it to you and your family, but I have the Pirates here.
Yeah,
I just do.
Yeah, I have the Pirates as well. I mean, there's all that hype about O'Neal Cruz. He batted like 233 last year. He's just big. I hope he figures it out, but the Pirates are going to lose.
That's what the Pirates do.
Yeah.
I discovered, I had never heard of it before, but a Pittsburgh potty.
Oh, yeah. It's the freestanding toilet in basements.
Yeah, give a quick as a Pittsburghian, yeah, it's a toilet without walls in a basement.
Yeah, so whenever people would come home from like the mines or the factory, they go in through the basement and there would be just a shower head and a toilet without any walls around it in the basement. So you could just kind of strip off your clothes, shit, and walk right into the shower, all one open thing. My house had it in the basement. Every house has had it in the basement. My grandma, it's a Pittsburgh potty.
Yeah, and Pittsburgh Pirates are a one giant euphemism for a Pittsburgh potty. They're just
I'm 30 years old. I've seen, if you want to count 1992, I've seen 4 winning seasons.
That's pretty fucking bad.
I
That's
can't
really
find
bad.
a team in the last 30-year
Fuck,
span
man.
that's been worse. The TV show Lost had 5 good seasons in that span.
That's the
Does it like, and then when you see Frank get mad about the Mets, it's like you can't really communicate with him because how much
I
worse
don't
the
even
Pirates
know if
had
I
it,
can
really.
get mad. So it's just you're used to it at this point. It's just how it goes. Ticket prices are still more expensive than a Yankees or Mets game. It's a pain in the ass to like park, get there. There's nothing good about it, and like people stopped caring. I remember the bar I used to go to watch games after we traded McCutcheon to the Giants. It just became a Giants bar. They played every Giants game after that. Like
that's
it's impossible to care.
and it's sad too, especially considering where they play. I haven't been to what's it called now? Did they change the name?
PNC.
Is it still
It's
PNC?
still
I
PNC.
haven't been to PNC before, but obviously you don't even need to go there to know it's just one of the most beautiful stadiums in all of baseball. And
Yeah.
it's just no one ever goes to them because why would you? Because the Pirates are trash.
And the tickets are still like if you want bad seats, you're still paying like 30, $40.
Yeah, fuck that. Better things to do with my money.
I do
Oh,
recommend
for
going
sure.
though. I mean,
For
at
sure.
least once. And great fireworks
Good
night.
fire.
They only do like 6 of them a year.
Yeah, and it's a pretty good show, and you know with that skyline behind you. But I mean, it's a baseball game.
Yeah, you don't go for the fireworks.
All right, we're turning the vibes though. I just want to turn the vibes because we're getting back. Best hitter, Paul Goldschmidt. He hits third for Team USA. He's 35 years old. He's not slowing down. He looks masterful. He's at the peak of his craft. I wouldn't be surprised if he had the best season of his life this year. He looks phenomenal.
So when you sent me the list of things I had to do, the font was small, and the first T in hitter looked like an L, and I was like, oh fuck, Carl. And I couldn't think of one. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Goldschmidt as well.
So you revised that and you figured out what it was, and it wasn't the bad man.
Yeah, I was just like maybe one of his grandsons. I don't know.
Yeah, probably they're probably bad people too. I would change
Yeah,
my name if I were
probably.
them. It's Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt is the best power hitter in baseball, probably. Like pure power hitter. I'm not talking about like Aaron Judge. I'm talking like what you think of in a power hitter. Like Aaron Judge is just a great hitter. But Goldschmidt, dude fucking rakes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. We're all in agreement on Goldschmidt. Okay. I have a bad Stalin joke I don't want to make. All right. Best pitcher in the division. Best pitcher in the division. I have Corbin Burns. And this is something when Nick got hired, he and I connected about was like, do you think Corbin Burns is ever going to maximize his potential? And then when the pandemic hit and they were in COVID and they were in protocol and stuff and the players were under supervision, I remembered like it was like I saw a story and I sent it over to you on Twitter and I was like, dude, have you seen this thing about Corbin Burns building his own pitching lab and he's working on his cutter and stuff? And like he could get to that gear we talked about. And I think he has I'm not even joking when I say this. I think he has another one too.
I know you set the order for you to go before me. Like I just pulled up our texts, Carl. It's all Corbin Burns talk. Every single message. So every point you said, I'm seconding. People are going to think I'm just tailing you. People are going to think I'm just tailing you. But yeah, Corbin Burns.
There's nothing to tail. Even it's Corbin Burns for everything stated already. He's a freak. He's awesome. I was talking to someone at the Barstool bar last night. We had a little activation thing there, and I can't tell if I don't remember if it was Burns or Woodruff, but apparently he went to arbitration with the Brewers over like $60,000 or something, and the Brewers tried to blame him to the arbitrators for them not winning the division because he had a couple bad starts at the end of the year. And I think that's hilarious. That's another loser organization. That's something like the Pirates, White Sox, and other loser organizations would pull. But it's Corbin Burns. He's an absolute fucking stud. Top 5 pitcher in baseball.
You can't lump the White Sox in with the Pirates. You can't really lump a professional team in with the Pirates.
You can't. The Pirates are probably the worst organization in baseball. One of them, maybe the worst.
Owner is super cheap. He lives in Wheeling, so he doesn't have to go live in Pittsburgh. It's unbelievable.
He doesn't want to face the music. I don't blame him. Jerry Reinsdorf lives in fucking Phoenix.
60 grand for Corbin Burns is like a used Chevy Suburban.
That might be exactly the price point of a used Suburban.
I would feel pretty confident that if I walked into a Chevy dealer right now with 60 grand and they had like 10,000 miles, 12,000, I'm walking off the lot with that Suburban, and I think I got a deal. Okay, speaking of deals, let's find a guy on a league minimum who's about to break out. Color me shocked.
Graham
I'm going Graham
Ashcraft, you
Ashcraft.
son of a bitch.
When he left,
you piece of shit.
Dude, when he left Mississippi State and went to UAB, and that's when he got the chip. And to be a great starting pitcher, you need to have a chip. Yep. And he got his chip. He got his chip in college, but he had all the talent. And so you saw the last start he had 6 innings, 1 hit, 10 strikeouts in the spring. He's ready for the season start. When he pitches, Dave, you'll love this about Graham Ashcraft. What do you aim at? He just throws it down the middle of the plate. And he's like, I've got a couple things, and they just move different, but I just aim it down the middle. He throws like 103. And guys that have faced him have said that it's like if Mariano Rivera was a starter and had a sinker with it. That's what the stuff feels like. Who the fuck am I to say it? But Graham Ashcraft breakout. And Nick, again, I want to apologize for stealing all of your
analysis. It's kind of pissing me off, but I do like what you said about getting the chip early. That parents should do that to their kids. Like when a kid gets chicken pox and there's a chicken pox party, they should get their kids chips real early. Having a chip's good.
Well, you don't want to abuse a child. Like you don't want to like mentally a pitcher. That's the delicate balance because if you do it before,
it's a tightrope act because you could end up like Dave with a bowl of Tostitos on his shoulder.
Mm-hmm. And then that's a good analogy there, Nick. I got.
Can I just ask, White Sox Dave, how old were you when your old man was like, "You're not good enough"?
10, 12.
Do you have you have memories of that?
I was thinking about it. Yeah, like when I would have a shit game in high school, I would sprint to my garage. I don't know if you have. I know you have Pittsburgh potties out there. We in Chicago, we like soup up our garages with like TVs and shitty folding tables and stuff.
You lost.
I would go straight from my game. Like I'd get home, I wouldn't change. I'd throw my bag down. I'd go to the garage so my dad could yell at me because I wanted him to tell me how much I sucked. Because then I would stop sucking for at least some amount of time.
I was 7 when my dad would scream at me over baseball because I wouldn't get in front of the ball when we were playing catch. I would like go off to the side. I was afraid. I was a little boy. And he would scream "Olay" like a bullfighter when I jumped away, and he would scream it "Olay," and my mom would yell at him, and then they would fight, and then I quit baseball.
Yeah, But you became a better fan in the process. Thanks for joining the preview show. Just quickly, I wasn't that good at playing catch, so my dad would just be like, "Go ask your mother."
You play catch with your mom?
Yeah. I just needed somebody to. I'll throw it. I only need you to catch it and roll it back to me. And so my dad say, "Go ask your mother." The way you throw, talk to your mother. And he meant it. Old dad sitting in the garage. All right, let's talk about regression for a second. I'm going to take Do you want to go first?
No. I think we straight here.
I'm taking Dansby Swanson. just because he was so good last year. And this is where we've come with a lot of these regression conversations in our preview shows, is like the regression isn't a bad thing. It just means like you're going to come back to the mean. Like just because someone was amazing last year doesn't mean they're going to be amazing this year. And I think it's fair to say Dansby Swanson's due to take a step back just based on how good he was last year.
Yeah, that's a fair take, but I disagree. I'm going to have to go. If anybody's been to any Pirate games, in the 7th inning, they bring out pierogies, big men in pierogies to race, pierogi races. And last year, Sauerkraut Saul won about a little over 30% of his races, and that's unheard of. I think he's due to step back. He's got a real bad attitude. He's a real grump. I think Jalapeno Hannah, this is her year.
Yeah, Jalapeno
bad year for the crowd.
I think she's due for a monster all-star level type season, but Sally,
she's kind of sexy too.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it, and I didn't have to, because I would have gotten bumped with the Hornets.
Yeah, she's running fast in heels and a purse. She's racing against boy pierogies, and she's holding her own.
Yeah, she's due for a major breakout, and for everything Carl said, Dansby Swanson, I don't like signing guys that had their best year as a free agent. Like entering free agency, and that's what Dansby Swanson was. You know you're going to get grade A defense out of him. He's going to be a solid hitter. I just don't know if he's the guy. Like he not for the same reasons as Javi Baez, because they're totally different players. But like he's not a guy that you start giving those kind of contracts to, just like to kind of. He's not the linchpin. He's a complimentary piece, but he's being paid now like the linchpin, and I don't think that he's going to have the type of financial returns with his statistical output this year because of that.
Yeah. Ooh, listen to fucking you go. How about that?
Yeah. Look at him go. Look at me. I love watching you cook.
Man, statistical returns in the kitchen. Do we have a surprise story? I'll go. I think the Reds are going to go, or they're going to flirt with 500. They're not going to be 500, but they'll flirt with it. Last couple months of the season last year, even though they had tremendous injuries to the depth chart, not a lot of movement in the prospects. Jonathan India's out. Tyler Stevenson can't get healthy. Joey Votto's withering. They got issues at shortstop. Like the pitching staff, talented, but can they stay? Like, who's really going to be here? What people don't know is that the Reds actually had a good culture. They have a very good culture. Last 3 months of the season, they flirted with 500 last year. I think that carries over into spring training. If the Reds are healthy, they could surprise some people. Loads of talent, and I love Derek Johnson, their pitching coach, who was originally the recruiting guy that built up Vanderbilt with Tim Corbin and had recruited David Price and all those superstars to Vanderbilt. He's like a legend in the game, and he's finally had a chance to impact his attitude in the game on an organization. It's the Reds, and I do think that the Reds continue to keep taking steps forward this year, but nobody cares about baseball in Cincinnati the way they should. It's such a sad thing, dude. It's so it kills me. Honestly, it kills me. It kills me.
It seems like a baseball town. It should be. The people there, it should be a baseball town.
They throw the opening day parade every year. The opening day parade in Cincinnati, it's one of the oldest teams, if not the oldest team. They're an original. Cincinnati. Fuck. Anyway,
I think that's the first time the Reds have even been mentioned, and we're in like minute 20-something of this NL Central preview. They're a forgettable organization. If they flirt with 500, that's a win. Because
they had 100 losses last year.
Yeah, they're a fucking dog shit. They're a loser organization. They stink. I think the Cardinals.
My surprise story is about the Reds as well, though. Sorry, Dave. We're on the same wavelength, Carl. A little bit different. I think mine's going to be off field. I think people online are going to push for the Reds to change their name. I think they're next. I think they've been kind of under the radar with Cleveland having to change. I think they're next in line. They're going to make a push for the Reds to change their name.
That would be surprising.
I don't know what they're going to change it to. I mean, historically, what's from Cincinnati? The band 98 Degrees? Are they going to call themselves the Lachey's? Don't think so. Maybe Steven Spielberg is from Cincinnati. So the Cincinnati ETs would be
That would
sick.
Be kind of cool. Nice little rebrand there.
Yeah. So that's my surprise story. People online, not baseball.
You've sold me. You sold me.
White Sox, Dave.
I think the Cardinals are going to take a step back. What they win last year? It was 90 some games. I obviously you got Arenado, Goldschmidt, Tommy Edman. Does he do it? He was awesome last year. He was fucking fantastic. You got that dude who was playing on Team Japan. I always blank on his name. Dylan Carlson just got hurt, I believe, but I don't like their pitching. And I think you need like a dearth of pitching to win any division. Like I'm talking not just 5 starting pitching. You need 7, 8 because everybody's arms are so pussied these days and babied these days. So, but I don't know. Something tells me that the Cardinals are flirting with 500 like the entirety of the year.
What about in the 8th inning of the preview here? I have worst. This is just an open-ended worst, and it could be anything you want after it. I have worst owner, and Nick, thanks for joining the show. I hate to do this to you though. I'm taking your owner. I think he's just the worst owner in professional sports, and I know when you're nutting, it's good to come last, but 3 of the last 4 seasons they've been in last place, and Robert Nutting has got to stop. Has got to stop it. Sell the team. Move on. You're a newspaper man. You're not a baseball man. It is, and I've said this again. When I look at the NL Central, there's so much history behind these franchises, and it's just sad that Pirates fans would show up for a product. Like they would fucking care so much, like they do for the Steelers, like they do for the Penguins. But it's like Bob Nutting just can't just does not give a shit, and it kills me. Fuck him.
The amount of times I've watched the wild card game against Cincinnati when everybody was chanting Cueto and he dropped the ball and people were going nuts. My dad was there. I was watching it at a bar in Pittsburgh. It was so much fucking fun, and then it just hasn't happened since.
I remember it, and Cueto gave up that long ass bomb.
To Russell Martin.
It was
okay. So like that sincerely is no joke. Like one of the best baseball atmospheres.
It was outstanding.
Yeah.
If you could think of in like the last decade.
Insane.
And you're right, like completely forgotten. Now when they cut to Pirates games, day games, and there's 1,000 people there, and you can hear the echo of the bat. So like the ball sounds so hard coming off O'Neill Cruz because no one's in the fucking stands.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. You and I, again, on the same wavelength. And we didn't even people probably think we are in cahoots. Not at all. Mine is worst decision, worst flub. There was a push to get Mark Cuban to buy the Pirates in the early 2010s. Mark Cuban from Pittsburgh guy, already a sports owner, already a good owner, a great owner. There was this rallying behind it. He was interested, and then it just kind of fizzled away.
Why.
That should have just been
I'll tell you exactly
hammered.
why.
Tell me why.
Because in baseball, you need 23 owners to 23 of the other organizations' owners to ratify a new sale. So when Cohen bought the Mets, it was like Jerry Reinsdorf, Art Moreno of the Angels, the Pirates owner Nutting, the Reds, and he barely got it because they knew that Cohen would just spend, and they'd be like, I can't keep up with that, which they can. It's all bullshit. And that's why Cuban doesn't own a baseball team right now, because he's been pushed for by every organization that has bad ownership. So, that's what I have for my worst. I fire Nutting and fire the Reds owner. Like, it's inexcusable. You see all this grow the game shit, like especially with the World Baseball Classic. Going back to that game that Cueto versus Russell Martin at bat, I remember that atmosphere was absurd. You know what the best way to grow the game is for every team to make conscious efforts to win as much as possible, and most teams don't do that. Especially the Reds and the Pirates. So fire both of their owners. I wish you could fire them, but fire them anyways.
Yeah, relegation for owners where you're forced to sell. Like you get a 4-year window, and if your win percentage is at a certain number, that's like sell the team, dude, get out of here. Like you can only buy in and get it. Hey, that's actually not a shitty idea. Okay, last inning.
Owning a team should be fun. That's like the most fun thing. If everybody fucking hates you, and you're losing, what's the fun?
The fun is they're selling that team
Money?
30 years down the road and making hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, probably billions of dollars. Jerry Reinsdorf bought the White Sox for $70 million 40 years ago. It's worth
Yeah.
billions of dollars now. And he
Yeah.
still won't shove his chips all in. Fuck them all.
Yeah.
And you bring up a great point, though, because we get to the biggest asshole, and I have to lump in some part of the Cubs into this preview as a Cubs guy.
Yeah.
And I'm taking Crane Kenny from the business side
He's an asshole.
because he's manipulated our owner so much. Now, I think Crane's nice, and I've met him, and he's fine. And, like, I don't have personal beef with Crane Kenny. As a Cubs fan, I think he's manipulated Tom. And I'm trying to tie together what you're saying, Nick, of, like, how manipulated these owners can be. Like, what's the point if you're going to lose? Why would Tom Ricketts buy the Cubs, say all this shit, sell these guys, tear it down, and then still keep charging the ticket? Like, nothing aligns with it. And it's because he's got Rasputin in his fucking ear, and his name's Crane Kenny. And it's so utterly manipulative to these billionaires that they don't have the social wherewithal and the capital to operate, like, on a day-to-day basis. They can't read a room. They don't know if people are happy. They just don't get it. So you have to have good people around you. And I think Tom Ricketts has a good heart. I think he's a good man. I think he wants to deliver a good product. But he's just got this voice. And the voice in his head is coming from Crane Kenny. And he tells him, let's go put an Al Cheval in. Let's fucking talk about the hot dogs we sell. Let's do beer bats. Let's do, like, all this stupid bullshit where in the meanwhile, Anthony Rizzo is going to go play 135 fucking games this year for the Yankees. And we have Mancini, Hosmer, and hopefully Matt Mervis. Hopefully a guy who didn't even get drafted in the COVID year can fill Anthony Rizzo's fucking shoes at some point. And as I say this passionately, I get worked up. Tom Ricketts is the person people point their fingers at, but Crank Kenny's the one who's in his ear. That's my long-winded, passionate thing. I have to use this platform to spread the message. I want people questioning, why is Crane Kenny in the radio booth with Pat Hughes right now? Why is the business guy around? He's worked for the Cubs for like 20-something years. Get him out of here. Get fresh blood in here. I'm done. There's my Crane Kenny rant. That's not even good. This isn't even a good preview show anymore. That's how fucking mad Crane Kenny gets me.
Let it all out. Mine's a little easier than that, but I'll let.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah.
Seriously, though, because I did need that.
No.
I haven't said that in a while. Thank you.
No. Do you need a cigarette?
I have a vape I can hit.
Maybe. That's a pretty good biggest asshole. I'm going to go Pontius Pilate, the man who all but condemned Christ to crucifixion and then washed his hands of it immediately afterwards. But no, I think you kind of one-upped me, but I'm going Pilate.
Yeah, Pilate, he was a bad mama jama.
I played Pontius Pilate in the 8th grade play.
Did you?
I tried out for Jesus.
And they gave you Pilate?
Yeah, it was awful. It was awful.
Oh.
And the teachers were like, you would be Pilate. And Pilate has a couple of big scenes in the Saint Germain 8th grade passion play. A couple of huge critical scenes, like the one where Yep. I had to slap my buddy who got the Jesus role, and I told him in rehearsal, I was like, dude, I'll be really dramatic because, like, I'll play it up. No, Friday night, packed house at Saint Germain, I slapped the shit out of him, and Billy O'Shea is still fucking mad at me about it. Like, when I see him, he's like, you fucking slapped me when you were a Pilate, you fuck.
We had an Irish Jesus? You got beat by an Irish man for Jesus?
Yeah, but he was a good dude. He was a good actor. Billy O'Shea was he was very good. But back we were celebrating Pontius Pilate as an asshole. I know. You were thinking Herod. You thought Herod.
Yeah.
Deep.
Or Barabbas.
I don't do
Zacchaeus, major dickhead. Little man syndrome.
I apologize. I don't do a lot of this, so I'm trying my best.
It's quite the tangent. I said Adam Wainwright because he just kind of reeks everything about baseball. So fuck him. But Pontius Pilate too. I mean, guy killed Jesus. Jesus seemed like a good dude, good cat.
You took him in the fight draft, Dave. You took Jesus in the first round of the fight draft.
Yes, because he can rise from the dead. You can kill him, but like you can't finish him. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Also, like that workout of like he carried that cross beam how far?
across an entire desert, right? Sorry, my theology is it's waning in my old age.
No. They made him. They didn't. We will now parade you out to the desert for no one's observation. No, that the crosswalk was through the streets, so people could shame him.
Yeah.
Do you think you could do that, Dave? Do you think you could do that with if we gave you a piece of wood? Do you think you could do that walk?
See, I as soon as I finished college and my playing days were no longer a thing, I made it a point to never lift anything heavy again. Lifting heavy stuff's the worst.
I don't see the point.
Why would I lift it?
Yeah, it doesn't feel
fucking
good.
heavy. Why would I want to lift that? So no, I don't think I could. And on that note, Eddie, because I'm not Catholic, I was Lutheran, even though it's all the same shit to me. Eddie, the other day, he's like, we got to baptize.
Same sport, different rules.
Yeah. He's like, we got to baptize Dave. I'm like, why? He's like, you're not Catholic. I'm like, do you know it? Like Catholicism is like a team of Christianity. Like, I'm just a different team, but I still get baptized. Like, what are you talking about? And this is a private school kid. He went to a fucking private school his whole life.
You just can't have communion.
No, you have communion. You just start later. You start in like 8th grade, I think.
What?
He's saying if you went to a Catholic, like
it's all the same shit to me.
Lutheran, I mean, guys, again, the MLB preview. There's a lot of people here who need this talk, though. So, to be clear, there's a lot of different sects of Christianity or different religions that stem off it, but the principal ideology being Christianity. And I'm pretty sure the basis of that is the baptism. So, you being Lutheran, David, I shouldn't say I'm pretty sure. I mean, for everybody's baptized if you believe in Jesus.
I didn't know that.
I mean, if you're in a religion, I shouldn't say it like that, but so Eddie asking that question is surprising.
It kind of blew my hair back a little bit, yeah.
But I'd be more surprised if the Reds won 80 games this
year. Yeah. They stink. They're a bad organization.
Guys, thanks for getting together today for the preview show. Subscribe to the Barstool Baseball YouTube channel. We're going to be around all season doing streams. We're going to be pulling in different people across Barstool, talk about baseball. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. Nick and Dave, thank you guys very much for your insight, and we're excited to talk more throughout the year.
Sounds good.
See you guys next time.
Thank you.
I'll catch you guys later. I have to scram.
All right, man. See ya.